Hi guys, this is lesson 24A. Just keep in mind when I don't have you answering my questions as we go, I probably move a little bit faster, but you have control. So if I'm moving too fast for you, just pause it so you can catch up with what I'm writing, and then you can unpause when you're ready to keep moving. So yeah, just set your own pace with this. We are doing 24A, which is solving equations with variables on both sides of the equations. And often this can be a stumbling block for some people because you're so used to like combining like terms. And now there's going to be an X on the left and an X on the right, and you're not combining like terms anymore. So let me just show you what it's going to look like first of all. So for example 1 here, let's say they say solve for x. Okay, and then it says 5x plus 2 equals 2x plus 14. So if that's our problem, here's what I need you to remember with this lesson. I'm just going to write it out. If you want to write it out with me, great. You don't need to, but I want you to remember this statement. When your variables are on opposite sides of the equal sign. Okay, so one on the left and one on the right. Remember this, you don't combine like terms. Oops. Okay, you don't combine like terms. What you need to do is you cancel them out on one side. So you're trying to get all the variables to one side of your equal sign. So it's still isolating the variable. It's just that you need to move everything over to one side first. So let me rewrite that problem and show you what I mean with that. So it's 5x plus 2 equals 2x plus 14. Okay, so we are used to having like a 2x over on the side over here and saying 2x plus 5x and combining that to 7x. Well, now our equal sign is here. Okay, and we are working on both sides of that equal sign with a variable. So just like when there's numbers that we're trying to move over to the other side, when there's a number and a variable together that we're trying to move, you do the exact same thing. So we are going to look at our variables right now. We're going to move our variables first. So we have a 5x and we have a 2x, and we need to get rid of one of those and move it to the other side. So right now the 5x is positive, so we could subtract 5x. But if we subtract 5x over here, okay, so if we did minus 5x on both sides, we'd end up with a negative number here. So typically, we don't go that route. Hopefully this is undoing as you see it. Instead, you have a positive 2x right here. Okay, if we subtract that 2x, whatever you do to one side of your equal sign, you have to do to the other, right? So now 2x minus 2x goes away. And I'm left with 5x minus 2x right here is 3x. And then we still have plus 2. Bring down your equal sign. And we just have a 14 over here. Okay, see how we did that differently? We didn't try to combine our 5x and our 2x. We tried to get rid of 2x over here. And by getting rid of it over here, we also had to get rid of it over here. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Okay, so now at this point, it's a two-step equation, and you guys rocked these the other day, remember? So your next step here would be subtract 2 from both sides. And I'm going to extend this dotted line down here. So now this is gone, and we're left with 3x on the left equals 14 minus 2 is 12. So if 3x equals 12, now we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And this cancels, and we end up with x equals 4, and we're done. And how do you check these problems? You plug it back in. So we're going to take this 4, and we're going to put it here, and we're going to put it here, and we're going to check it. So it's going to be 5 times 4 plus 2 should equal 2 times 4 plus 14. Well, if we simplify that, 20 plus 2 is 22. 8 plus 14 is 22, so it checks out. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's try another one. And again, if I'm going too fast, just rewind a bit or pause. Take your time. Okay, next one. Let's say we are doing 7k. Oops, that's bad. Try that again. 7k plus 2 equals 4k minus 10. Okay, so again, here's our equal sign. We're working on both sides of that with k's. So ask yourself the question, does it make more sense to subtract 7k from both sides, or does it make more sense to subtract 4k from both sides? You usually want to get rid of the smaller one, or sometimes it's easier to think you want to move the negative one. These are both positive. So I would subtract 4k from both sides. Okay, so this goes away. And now we have 7k minus 4k is 3k. We still have our plus 2. Bring down our equal sign. And now here's where you have to be careful. This is not 10. It's minus 10. So we think of it as a negative 10. Okay, and now again, it's a two-step equation. So your next step here would be to subtract 2. So you have 3k on the left because this goes away. Bring your equal sign down, and then just be careful here. Negative 10 minus 2 is a negative 12. And then our next step would be divide by 3 on both sides, so your 3's go away. And you have k equals negative 12 divided by 3 is a negative 4. Okay, and again, you can plug that back in just to double check it, and they should come out equal to each other. So negative 7 times negative 4 would be negative 28, plus 2 would be negative 26. Same thing over here. 4 times a negative 4 is a negative 16, minus 10 would be a negative 26. So it checks out. Okay, next one. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so this one says 2x plus 5 minus 3x equals 12. Okay, now this isn't the new lesson. This is the previous lesson. I want to show you the difference in how you do it. So notice with this one, both of your x's are on the same side of the equal sign, right? Today's lesson is about them being on opposite sides, and you need to get them to the same side. These ones are already on the same side. So this is just combining like terms, 2x and a negative 3x. You're just combining those. You're not adding 3x right here. Okay, this is what you're not doing. Hear me right now. You're not going to go plus 3x because they're on the same side. Instead, what you're going to do is you're just going to combine like terms. Sorry, I wanted to get those red bars out of there. So you're going to do 2x minus 3x because they're on the same side of the equal sign. 2x minus 3x would be a negative 1x. And then you have plus 5. Bring down your equal sign, and that's 12. Okay, then we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So we get a negative 1x, this is gone, equals 7. And then you would divide by negative 1. So x equals, these cancel, negative 7. Okay, so just notice the difference. In this one, your x's were on the same side. That's just combining like terms like we did in lesson 2-3. The two previous problems, they were on different sides. The x's were on opposite sides of the equal sign. Then you need to move one over by canceling it out. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple more examples, and then you'll have the rest of the class period to work some of these out. All right, here's your problem. We're going to use e as our variable. 9e plus 4 equals negative 5e plus 14 plus 13e. Okay, so this one's getting a little fancier still. This one's kind of combining the last two examples. So we have our equal sign here. And if you notice, there's a negative 5e and a positive 13e both on the same side. So that's just going to be combining like terms. So negative 5 plus 13 is 8e. Okay, and then we still have the plus 14. Here's our equal sign, and then we're just going to rewrite this, 9e plus 4. Okay, so now there's no more like terms to combine, so now we can start moving things around to other sides of the equation. So look at your two numbers, 9e and 8e. I would say it makes more sense to get rid of the smaller one, so we're going to take away 8e, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So this is gone. And I'm left with 9e minus 8e is 1e, so we can just call that e, plus 4 equals 14. Okay, then from there, we would subtract 4 on both sides, and we get e equals 10. And again, you can always plug it in and check it if you need to. Okay. All right, we'll do 2 more. This one, let's see, we're going to do 7b minus 15 equals 5b minus 3. Okay, again, your equal sign is here. So this is kind of your dividing factor. We want to move everything variable-wise to one side, everything that's not variable to the other. So your smaller number here is the 5b. So we're going to take away a 5b from this side, which is 0. And we're going to take it away from this side because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 7b minus 5b is 2b minus 15. Bring down your equal sign. And then you have a negative 3 over here. Okay, now it's just a two-step equation. So you're going to do plus 15 here and plus 15 here. And be careful, it's a negative 3 plus 15. So this goes away. You end up with 2b equals negative 3 plus 15 is 12. And now from here, you can just divide by 2, and you end up with b equals 6. Okay, last one. For this one, the problem says negative 7 plus 4m plus 10 equals 15 minus 2m. Okay, so here's our equal sign, here's our divider. If you can combine like terms, you combine like terms first. So we have a negative 7 and a positive 10 that we can combine. So negative 7 plus 10 is 3. And then we have plus 4m equals 15 minus 2m. Okay, now for this one, notice what's going on. You have a negative 2m here. So if I want to get rid of that, I actually add 2m. On this side, it's a positive 4m, so to get rid of it, we would subtract it. And it's fine, you may do either way, but I think it's a little bit easier if you add the 2m over here, because then you get to add it over here, and then you're not working with negatives. Okay, so that would cancel, and I'm left with 3 plus, this would be 6m, equals 15. Okay, and now again, it's a two-step equation. We're going to start by taking this 3 away. So subtract 3 on both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we're left with 6m equals 12. And now to solve that, we would just divide by 6, divide by 6. So these are gone. And we are left with m equals 2. Okay. So just be careful. Are you combining like terms because your things are on the same side of the equal sign? Or when like your m's are on different sides of the equal sign, that's when you need to cancel it out on one side and move it to the other side. Okay. So give that a go. Ask your neighbor if you need a little extra help. I'm sure there's someone around you that could help you out. And I hope to be back on Monday, so we can go over this together. Have a good weekend, and I will hopefully see you Monday.